I don't know about you, but I never conceived that I would be standing here talking to you about an Arctic Thundercat with power steering and electronic suspension. I mean, what a time to be alive. This absolute beast of a sled right here is the 2022 Arctic ZR Thundercat EPS with ATAC. It's the most primo, high-end, showroom blazing, box ticking culmination of bottom right-hand digits that you can possibly spec out at your Arctic dealership. This is top shelf, top tier, and should you have gotten your name in on one, also top horsepower and top speed. Nothing has this cat beat. The legacy of Arctic horsepower domination, well, it seems to still stand. So you went to your Arctic dealer in the spring, you gave me your credit card and you said, give me your best. And this is what shows up. The Thundercat has a reputation to uphold, and let me get a few things straight. It's holding it with clenched teeth. The 998cc turbo triple is still heart-pounding. Feels like you just lit the fuse on one of Elon's rockets and they forgot to put you inside the capsule. I mean, the power produced, whether it's an actual 200 horsepower, I don't care. It's big, it's strong, and it feels more powerful than anything else out there. This is what the Thundercat has always been, and I get a strong feeling that Arctic isn't gonna let that go. Although while I do feel the T-Cat is a savage beast under the hood, there are many refinements, on this model specifically, that make it very trailable. The T-Cat comes in 3 flavors. Base, which is still very premium, but for lack of better words, that's what we're gonna call it. For about $1,000 more, you step up to the EPS version, and then for another $1,000 on top of that, you get this with the ATAC suspension as well as EPS. And you're gonna be happy with any of the T-Cats that you buy, but I'm here to bring you up to speed on the EPS and ATAC version. 2 technologies that we have a good amount of experience with and are able to give you the lowdown on. Many folks will ask if they need these 2 technologies, and the truth is that no, you don't need them. But yes, they are very impressive. I could ask if you need 200 horsepower or 13.5 inches of suspension travel as well, but again, these are not needs. They're wants, and they deliver what is the best riding, best handling 4-stroke snowmobile Arctic has ever produced. The standout feature for me on this sled is the ATAC on-the-fly adjustable suspension. It gives the rider complete control over the one thing that we correlate with having a good day's ride. Suspension, and its ability to smooth out the trail's shortcomings truly is the biggest area of compliance that we look for as sledders. I mean, I could be riding a ZR200, and if it's buttery smooth, I'll still be able to say I had a great day's ride at minimum horsepower. ATAC gives you 3 preset suspension modes of soft, medium, and firm, and you can change between them at your leisure while riding or at a standstill. The Fox Zero IQS shocks then electronically go to work and change your compression settings. Now, interestingly, the Arctic ATAC system uses only the rear arm and front ski shocks. The front arm shock is not electronic, however, we do wonder if this isn't something that will come in the future. Now, I know that the big question is going to be, how does ATAC work as compared to Smart Shocks? But the truth is, these 2 systems are completely different. Smart Shocks is a constantly adapting system reading multiple sensors and altering to your current conditions. ATAC is a preset selectable suspension system. So really the 2 can't be compared. What I can tell you is that on the big mile days, the ATAC is a joy to have available. If I'm being honest, when the trail gets rough on a standard sled, I don't get off and adjust my clickers for the trail. I, as I assume you do also, just suffer through it in hopes that the groomer magically has been through at our next turnoff. Most times that's not the case, and we just keep riding, as we know to readjust the suspension will take time and we just want to get to smoother trails. ATAC brings the smoother trails to your fingertip, and switching compression on the fly results in significantly better compliance in a millisecond. If QS3 is the evolution and simplification of a wide-range clicker system, ATAC is the evolution of QS3. Now, I haven't said much about the EPS steering on this cat. While I am a fan of the stock ZR steering feel without EPS, I will say that the EPS system is going to add big benefits for high-mile riders. If you're going to have power steering on a sled, having it on a 4-stroke just makes sense. The added weight of the engine increases ski pressure and therefore opens up the benefits of power steering. Yes, the EPS system does add in a fair bit of weight, but again, you're talking about a 200 horsepower class sled with all of the bells and whistles. What's another 20 pounds? The EPS has been well tuned to fit the characteristics of the ZR T-Cat chassis, and it doesn't cause the steering to feel vague or numb. And for those high-mile touring riders, this is something that will undoubtedly keep you feeling as loose and limber on day 5 as you were on day 1. The rest of the T-Cat looks to be much like it has been in the past. LED headlight, included goggle bag on the dash, and as always, cool Arctic styling. And the includes on this flagship model are long, with the adjustable front ski stance to the Ripsaw 2 1.25-inch track and the 11-inch included mid-height windshield and heated seat. There's lots to like about the extras. But one area that should be made mention of, that's less in the visual spotlight, is the clutches, and there are big changes here. No longer do we have the Team Industries rapid response setup, but now the Arctic Cat Adapt CVT package that uses a narrower clutch that's also lightened. This new Arctic Cat design is said to increase belt life and also improve the engine's throttle response and the performance of the turbo motor. Time will tell on the belt life department, but what we can say is that the T-Cat feels fast and as smooth as ever.